train robberies, horse thievery, shootouts under the blazing sun. The Wild West wasn't just a chapter in American history. It was a gritty, lawless era where larger-than-life outlaws carved their names into legend. These notorious figures, glorified as daring rebels and swashbuckling anti-heroes, have captivated imaginations for over a century. As historian Bill Markley aptly said in Billy the Kid and Jesse James, outlaws of the legendary West, Jesse James and Billy the Kid personify that rebellious spirit. Americans overlook the crimes and see the romance of the rebel. But behind the glamour of these tales lies the raw truth. Their lives often ended in ways as wild as the stories they inspired. From violent shootouts to shocking betrayals, let's take a look at 15 deaths of legendary figures from the Wild West that left us both amazed and horrified. Number 15. Wild Bill Hickok. Wild Bill Hickok was a living action hero of the Wild West, a soldier, scout, lawman, gambler, and storyteller. Born in 1837 on a farm in Illinois, Hickok left home at 18 and quickly embraced adventure, working as a stagecoach driver before becoming a lawman in Kansas and Nebraska. During the Civil War, he served as a spy and soldier for the Union Army, solidifying his reputation for bravery. After the war, Wild Bill thrived as a scout, professional gambler, and marksman. His life was a series of gunfights and escapades, but separating fact from fiction is tricky. Known for embellishing his own exploits, Hickok became a legend in his time, captivating audiences with tales of his sharpshooting and daring feats. Hickok's life came to a dramatic end on August 2, 1876, in Deadwood, South Dakota. While playing poker, he was shot in the back of the head by Jack McCall. Legend has it, Hickok held the dead man's hand, a pair of black aces and eights, when he died. Though his career as a gunfighter was relatively short, Wild Bill remains an enduring figure, immortalized in stories, films, and TV as a larger-than-life icon of the Wild West. Number 14. Bat Masterson. Bat Masterson was a Wild West icon who wore many hats: lawman, gambler, saloon keeper, journalist, and even friend to a U.S. president. Born as Bartholomew Masterson on November 26, 1853, in Henryville, Quebec, Bat's family moved frequently before settling in Kansas. At 19, Bat left home to become a buffalo hunter, chasing adventure in the untamed frontier. In 1876, his life took a sharp turn in Sweetwater, Texas, where a deadly brawl left 2 people dead. Forced to flee, Bat returned to Dodge City and found his footing as a lawman and local figure of authority. Known for his quick wit and quicker draw, Bat became part of the legendary Gang alongside Wyatt Earp. Later, Bat turned to prize fighting, becoming a renowned boxing authority. In 1902, he moved to New York City and traded his guns for a pen, writing for the Morning Telegraph. His life ended in 1921 at his desk, cementing his legacy as a man of endless reinvention. Number 13. Doc Holliday. Doc Holliday was a dentist turned gunfighter whose name became synonymous with the Wild West. Born John Henry Holliday on August 14, 1851 in Georgia, he pursued dentistry but was diagnosed with tuberculosis in his early 20s. Seeking a drier climate, he moved west, trading his dental tools for a gambler's deck. Holliday's friendship with Wyatt Earp led to his involvement in the infamous 1881 shootout at the OK Corral in Tombstone, Arizona. Though his role in the gunfight has been romanticized, historians believe he killed only a few men throughout his life. After the OK Corral, Holliday joined Earp on a vengeance ride against outlaws who had attacked their family. His declining health forced him to retreat to Colorado, where he spent his final days. Doc Holliday died at 36 in 1887, succumbing to tuberculosis. Despite his brief life, he remains a legendary figure of the Wild West, immortalized in film and folklore. Number 12. Calamity Jane. Calamity Jane was a larger-than-life figure whose grit and compassion defined her Wild West legacy. Born Martha Jane Canary on May 1, 1852, in Princeton, Missouri, Jane faced tragedy early, losing her parents as a teen. She took on rough jobs like bullwhacking and scouting, earning a reputation as a fearless sharpshooter. Jane's adventures led her to Deadwood, South Dakota, where she befriended Wild Bill Hickok. While rumors of romance and secret children surround their relationship, the truth remains murky. What's certain is that Jane's bold personality and wild tales made her a local legend and a fixture in traveling Wild West shows. Despite her rough edges, Jane had a kind heart, often nursing the sick and helping the poor. But her final years were difficult, plagued by alcoholism and poverty. On August 1, 1903, Jane passed away at 51, likely from pneumonia. She was buried next to Hickok, her legend forever tied to the untamed frontier. Number 11. Jesse James. Jesse James was the embodiment of rebellion, a notorious outlaw who inspired both fear and fascination. Born on September 5, 1847, in Kearney, Missouri, Jesse grew up on his family's farm. His life changed forever during the Civil War when he joined Confederate guerrilla fighters at 16, battling under brutal leaders like Bloody Bill Anderson. After the war, Jesse and his brother Frank turned to crime, targeting Union-backed banks, trains, and stagecoaches. The James Gang became infamous, pulling off more than 20 robberies between 1866 and 1882, amassing a fortune while leaving chaos in their wake. Despite legends portraying them as Robin Hood-like figures, there's no proof they shared their spoils with anyone. On April 3, 1882, Jesse's story ended in betrayal. While adjusting a picture in his home, he was shot in the back of the head by Bob Ford, a member of his own gang. At 34, Jesse's life was cut short, but his legend lives on. Number 10. Billy the Kid. Billy the Kid, also known as Henry McCarthy or William H. Bonney, lived a life straight out of a Wild West epic. Born in 1859 to Irish Catholic parents in New York City, Billy's exact birth date remains uncertain, either September 17th or November 23rd. Baptized as Patrick Henry McCarthy, he faced tragedy early, becoming an orphan at 15. By 16, he was arrested for stealing food but escaped jail, starting a life on the run. Billy's outlaw career began in Arizona, where he killed a blacksmith during a fight and became a federal fugitive. By 1877, calling himself William H. Bonney, he joined a group of cattle rustlers. His reputation soared during the Lincoln County War of 1878, where he was charged with 3 murders. By 21, Billy was rumored to have killed 21 men, though historians debate the accuracy. Captured in December 1880, Billy escaped jail by killing 2 deputies, evading capture for months. In July 1881, Sheriff Pat Garrett tracked him to Fort Sumner and ended his life with a single gunshot. At just 21, Billy the Kid's legend was cemented as one of the Wild West's most infamous figures. Number 9. Belle Starr. Belle Starr, the Bandit Queen, lived a life filled with rebellion, notoriety, and mystery. Born Myra Maybelle Shirley on February 5, 1848, near Carthage, Missouri, she grew up during a turbulent era. Her family's connections to infamous outlaws, including ties to the Hatfields of the Hatfield-McCoy feud, foreshadowed her future. In 1866, Belle married childhood friend James Reed, who was soon entangled with the notorious Starr clan. The couple's criminal exploits included horse stealing, cattle rustling, and robbery. After Reed's death in 1874, Belle joined the Starr clan, marrying Sam Starr in 1880. Together, they ran a haven for outlaws in Indian Territory. Belle's boldness caught the attention of hanging judge Isaac Parker, leading to her 1882 conviction for horse theft. Released early for good behavior, she attempted to live quietly after Sam's death. Tragically, on February 3, 1889, she was shot in the back near her ranch. The killer remains unknown, adding to Belle's mystique as a legendary outlaw of the Wild West. Number 8. Buffalo Bill Cody. Buffalo Bill Cody was a legend of the Wild West, known for his larger-than-life persona and groundbreaking showmanship. Born on February 26, 1846 in Iowa, his early life was shaped by tragedy and hardship. After his father was stabbed for speaking against slavery and later died, young Bill took on adult responsibilities. By 9, he was working for a freight company, showcasing his skills as a horseman. At 14, Bill reportedly rode for the Pony Express, a claim debated by historians. During the Civil War, he scouted for the Union Army, and afterward, he became a prolific buffalo hunter, earning his nickname by supplying meat to railroad workers. Between 1867 and 1868, he reportedly killed over 4,000 buffalo, cementing his reputation as a frontier hero. In 1872, Cody entered show business with Scouts of the Prairie and later created his famed Wild West show. Mixing real frontier tales with theatrics made him an international celebrity. Despite his success, financial missteps plagued him. Cody passed away on January 10, 1917, and was buried on Lookout Mountain in Colorado, as per his final wishes. "Bury me on the hill overlooking the plains. I want to spend eternity looking at the Rocky Mountains." Number 7. Butch Cassidy. Butch Cassidy, born Robert Leroy Parker on April 13, 1866 in Utah, became one of the Wild West's most famous outlaws. Inspired by mentor Mike Cassidy, he adopted the name and turned to cattle rustling and bank robbery. After a stint in prison, Butch formed the Wild Bunch, a gang known for meticulously planned heists and dramatic escapes. Cassidy partnered with the Sundance Kid, and together, they pulled off daring robberies that drew the attention of law enforcement and the Pinkerton Agency. As pressure mounted, Butch, Sundance, and Sundance's companion Etta Place fled to South America in 1901, where they continued their outlaw ways. Their end remains shrouded in mystery. Officially, Butch and Sundance died in a Bolivian shootout in 1909. But rumors persist of Butch returning to the U.S. and living quietly until the 1930s. Cassidy's life, marked by bold heists and intrigue, cements him as one of the Wild West's most enduring figures. Number 6. Annie Oakley. Annie Oakley, born Phoebe Ann Moses on August 13, 1860 in Ohio, was a sharpshooting sensation whose skills captivated audiences worldwide. From humble beginnings, Annie began hunting to support her family, eventually earning enough to pay off their farm mortgage. At just 15, she defeated marksman Frank Butler in a shooting match, a meeting that sparked their romance and partnership. The couple toured vaudeville circuits until Annie joined Buffalo Bill's Wild West show in 1885. Known as the peerless Lady Wingshot, Annie dazzled crowds with her ability to split playing cards edge-on, shoot dimes mid-air, and perform the infamous cigarette trick. Her fame extended across the Atlantic, where she performed for royalty, including Queen Victoria and the future Kaiser Wilhelm II. Despite a debilitating train accident in 1901, Annie's resilience saw her return to performing. She continued to showcase her unmatched talent and champion women's roles in shooting sports. Annie Oakley's legacy remains a testament to skill, perseverance, and the power of breaking barriers. Now, let's head over to number 5. William Little Bill Riddler. William F. Little Bill. Riddler was a Pennsylvania-born outlaw whose adventurous spirit led him to a life of crime. Born in 1870, Riddler's well-educated background stood in stark contrast to his later exploits. After leaving college, he moved to Texas, becoming a cowboy before joining the Doolin Dalton gang in Oklahoma. From 1892 onward, Riddler participated in numerous robberies and shootouts, becoming a key figure in the gang's escapades. His downfall began on September 6, 1895, when Deputy U.S. Marshal Bill Tillman tracked him to a hideout. In the ensuing gunfight, Riddler was severely wounded and captured. Sentenced to 10 years in prison, he befriended fellow inmate and future literary icon William Sidney Porter, known as O. Henry. After being paroled in 1903, Riddler married and attempted a quiet life. However, complications from his injuries ultimately led to his death around 1910, leaving his burial site shrouded in mystery. Number 4. George Redbuck, Waitman. George Redbuck. Waitman earned his place in Wild West history as a fiery outlaw and a member of the Doolin-Dalton gang. Known for his bright red hair and quick temper, Redbuck was involved in train and bank robberies that cemented the gang's notoriety. Details of his early life remain unclear, but his violent criminal record is well documented. Redbuck reportedly killed several people during robberies, earning a reputation as one of the gang's most dangerous members. On March 4, 1896, Redbuck met his end near Arapahoe, Oklahoma. A posse led by determined lawmen cornered him, leading to a fierce gunfight. Though he fought valiantly, Redbuck was ultimately killed, marking the end of a bloody chapter in the Wild West. His death signaled the beginning of the decline of the Doolin-Dalton gang's reign of terror. Number 3. Richard Little Dick, West. Richard Little Dick. West, a Missouri-born outlaw, gained notoriety as a sharpshooter and member of the Doolin-Dalton gang. Despite his diminutive nickname, West's reputation for ruthlessness and loyalty to his gang loomed large. Joining the gang as a teenager, West quickly proved himself during robberies and shootouts. His unwavering loyalty ultimately led to his downfall. On April 8, 1898, lawmen tracked him to a remote ranch in Logan County, Oklahoma. Refusing to surrender, West engaged in a fierce gunfight, but was outnumbered and outgunned. He was shot and killed by a posse led by Deputy Marshal Chris Madsen. His death marked another blow to the once feared gang, as law enforcement systematically dismantled their stronghold on the Wild West. Number 2. Dan Dynamite Dick Clifton. Dan Dynamite Dick Clifton, a key member of the Doolin-Dalton gang, lived up to his explosive nickname. Known for his wild temper and expertise in using dynamite to blow open safes, Clifton was a feared figure in the Wild West. Dynamite Dick participated in numerous train and bank robberies, serving as the gang's muscle during their heyday. However, the law finally caught up to him on November 7, 1897, near the Creek Indian Territory. A posse led by Chris Madsen tracked him to his hideout, and after a tense standoff, Clifton attempted to escape. In a dramatic shootout, Dynamite Dick was killed, marking the beginning of the Wild Bunch's collapse. His death symbolized the end of an era for the gang, which had dominated the Southwest with their daring and dangerous escapades. Number 1. Pat Garrett. Pat Garrett, the lawman who famously brought down Billy the Kid, lived a life filled with danger, mystery, and intrigue. Born Patrick Floyd Jarvis Garrett on June 5, 1850 in Chambers County, Alabama, he worked as a cowboy and buffalo hunter before becoming sheriff of Lincoln County, New Mexico. In 1881, Garrett achieved fame and controversy when he tracked and killed Billy the Kid, cementing his place in Wild West history. However, his later years were marked by hardship. Garrett struggled with financial woes, failed political aspirations, and contentious land disputes. On February 29, 1908, Garrett met a violent end. While traveling near Las Cruces, New Mexico, he was shot in the back of the head, reportedly while urinating on the roadside. Although local cowboy Wayne Brazel confessed to the killing, his acquittal fueled speculation of a deeper conspiracy. Garrett's death remains one of the Wild West's enduring mysteries. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.